Hey, it's Michael here, and just a quick one on my way to work. And this really a follow-up to the last video, which was on the food we eat. And after doing that, I just was still pondering over that and trying to find a way of breaking down our issues with food. And I think one word that came to mind was addiction. And it may sound a niche word in that it applies to certain people and really not to us. But then think of it this way. Do you know of anyone who you would say is addicted to, say, alcohol or to anything we describe as a vice? And what really is it? Because you see, when people are addicted to something, it doesn't mean that they are taking in or doing something which is necessarily wrong in and of themselves. I think the problem is that there is a certain habit or action or thing that we do that we have lost control, that we seem not to be able to stop ourselves psychologically to do that. And that is when we have ceded control, therefore, to that. And then I realized that it seemed to be our relationship with food, in that for most of us, and I do suffer with that, every now and then. For most of us, we tend to grow up, not being addicted to food. Because if you think of a baby in the womb of the mother, they just take what they need. And for some babies, unfortunately, they even start being pumped with stuff. And so by the time they get up, they have issues. You can see that from their physiology. But if that did not happen, we come into a world where we have developed over several years the perception that food is a pleasurable thing, and therefore we eat regardless of whether we need it or not. And our bodies try to adjust and adapt to this by our stomach sizes increasing, and our brain also buying into this concept that we need the food. And then over time it becomes something that we cannot really do without. And even if we are told, as we know today, that the things we eat are the things that are causing us harm, we still are not able to stop ourselves from eating. I mean, I now, having lived this kind of lifestyle for a while, I know that I'm not hungry, but then also I have to battle with the thought of certain foods sometimes, just because, in my mind, I have developed over the years that these are pleasurable. And that's one of the things that we need to think about. We need to see our relationship with food as addicts would do. So say somebody has an addiction to smoking or to alcohol, the way that we think that alcohol affects them, in terms of their system, their health and everything, food is doing the same thing. It doesn't make it different just because many people eat in the same way. The majority could be wrong. And in this case, the evidence and everything is pointing to that fact. When you put on the visceral fat, when you go to the hospitals, when we see people with the metabolic diseases, when we see a whole group of people from certain parts of the world suffering from, say, diabetes and all that, then we should know that it is not a matter of genetics, but it's a matter of what we consume. And one thing about addiction is that you cannot stop it just abruptly. You need to have a plan. And so just like as a follow-up to the last video about the food we eat, you simply cannot get up one day and say that I'm going to stop eating and I'm going to eat in this way. That's not going to work, because I can promise you that you are going to give up in no time. What I think work, and I'm going to do a separate video on this, is that you need to become something. You need to develop a practice of living a certain way. Once you do that, your body will naturally adapt things, and you will see the magic that your body is capable of carrying out. Because don't try to abruptly say, oh, okay, I'm gonna start fasting, I'm not gonna eat for this length of time. Trust me, it's not gonna work, because you have lived decades in a particular way, and so changing that will have to be done gradually over a long time. And again, that is something that you are going to fight against everything we have been taught in the world. Our world teaches us that we must achieve things, and that's why you see something about diets where people are looking for, what can I do, what can I buy, what is the one trick that I can do, let's say for X number of days, 3 months, 4 months, something that I can do to achieve that. But the reason why that fails is that our bodies do not operate like that. You can achieve that over a period, but if you don't maintain a lifestyle, what do we say? People quickly go back to where they were in the past, because the moment you eat in a certain way, your body is going to respond in a certain way, because the body needs just what it needs in terms of the energy requirements. And so if your body, say, requires 2,000 calories to function normally in a day, that's what it needs. It doesn't matter if you are rich, poor, tall, short, whatever. Everybody, physiologists differ, so some people may need more, others may need less. But if you exceed what your body requires, which is what most people do regularly on a daily basis, your body has got to put the excess energy somewhere. And that is where we see people putting on excess body fat in places that they are not supposed to be, because the body has got it and it's got to be kept. And so what you do when you give yourself long periods of not eating is that you allow the body to use up whatever energy you have put in it. And if it is not enough, the ones that are stored are then used by your body. And that is the aspect of weight loss that also comes with giving yourself long periods of not eating anything. So really, this is a quick one that we need to begin to think about our eating habits as we do about addiction. Have a good day, people, and I shall be with you very soon. My name is Michael.